How's everybody doing? I'm your host, Napalm Dawn, and we are here in Marvel Avengers Alliance discussing a possible team-up that could be very good in the upcoming PvP, especially with the changes to the meta. As you can see from the title of the video, you may be able to guess it. It is going to be Iron Man and Rocket Raccoon, and it's going to feature the slightly modified version of the chess set from, days gone past. It's somewhat relatively recently shown up as a set on sale, but it may be some time before you see it again. I apologize, it's a really heavily mothballed set that I'm pulling out over here, but it's going to work out particularly well, and there's a few things that you can do to kind of replace it being the chess set. The background music for this episode is Rob Scallon's half hour of 8-string guitar music. It's pretty soothing. Check him out. Of course, the link will be in the description. As always, so, interesting little bug. When I first filmed the video, I went crazy looking for Iron Man's ISO, and I couldn't find it, and I knew I got it. I'm farming Spec Ops 2 to get Hulk's ISO, but the first time I went through, I got Iron Man's, and I couldn't seem to find it. Please excuse the ISOs over here. This is his setup for beating Epic Hulk in Spec Ops 2. I haven't modified him yet because I'm not done, but I went looking for his ISO. I mean, here it is, but look, I went over to all, and I did character restricted, and I scrolled through, and look, nothing lights up. For some reason, Iron Man's new personal ISO is not showing up over here under the character restricted. See, Scarlet Witch, Dr. Voodoo, Scarlet Witch, Black Cat. These, Nightcrawler, this is the Mystic Shroud one. These are ISOs that should be character restricted, but for some reason, it wasn't showing up. So I kind of panicked a little bit, and I checked on the wiki, and I was like, okay, so that's the name of it. I'm like, yeah, I got that. Where the hell is it? Well, I do have it. It just seems to be a little bugged. So we're going to go ahead and equip that over here, and here it is. It's the overloading ISO 8. It says that Iron Man has a chance to prevent and counter enemy tech attacks. From what a lot of people have said, it kind of has a 1 in 3% chance. So I'm using him in his blaster setup. You can go ahead and put him in his bruiser setup. Unfortunately, his personal A ISO does not work over here because these are called digger missiles. They're not called missile barrage. That personal A ISO is over here. It says that missile barrage gains scorch. This is like using the weather control device's fire tornado twice. Unfortunately, it does nothing for Mark 42 or Mark 43. And for my Rocket Raccoon, I'll show you his setup over here. He is actually ISO'd correctly. And the good thing about it is you can use either Movie Coon or Straight Coon and essentially get the same results. I happen to have him as his Movie General Coon so that we do not suffer the blaster weaknesses, which actually is not too bad nowadays because of all the bruisers that we're seeing. But I do have his morale boost slotted here. For Blam, because this is range gun, energy, and tech, what you could do is there's a lot that you can slot over here. You can do ionizing, and as a matter of fact, that's actually what I'm going to do. Or you could put shield breaker there. You have the aiming, which applies locked on. You have the bursting, which is of course the shield breaker. Suppressing, which applies a shield. This is really a good idea for his counter, because then that means he will constantly be shielding himself. And of course, there are some other options like sniping, guaranteed hit, which is not bad, perfect shot. There's a lot that you can do over here. For Murder Jew, it is ranged, gun, and energy. And again, we can apply another ionizing, we can apply an aiming, we can apply a bursting, except this is single target. You can apply a suppressing, which is not a bad idea. And then, of course, we have the standards, we have the suppressing, same stuff pretty much as his level 1. Over here on Blam Blam Blam, ranged, gun, energy, and tech. So you can apply the automated, which gives him tech upgrade. This is really solid, and this is probably a very good thing to use here. You can have him apply obsolete tech, which is also phenomenal. And then, of course, you have the gun 1 sniping, aiming, bursting, all that. And then his final ability over here, his Kerplowy, which is range, gun, tech, energy, and explosion. It's like everything. This is pretty much his kill shot, so there's not a whole lot that you want to do that'll buff it, but this is not a bad way to go for that. Sniping. Guaranteed hit. That's really, really good way to go, because you want to use this as your kill shot. So, shield breaker, probably not the way to go. You want to use this to kill somebody. So, doing a debuff related thing over here is probably not the way to go, but making sure that it hits definitely is. So let's see, I don't think we have a sniping, unfortunately. Yeah, so I would buy a sniping for that. For Iron Man, there's tons of things that you can do for him. So the repulsor rays, you could of course go with the fact that you can either buff the Hulk side, which is melee, unarmed, and tech, or range, energy, and tech. For this, you could apply tech upgrade. You can apply the tech downgrade. You can do the suppressing. You could do the radiation. And then there are the melee sides of it, like knocking and pulverizing. For the Digger missiles, they are explosion, ranged, and ground. For his Hulkbuster suit, it's ranged, energy, and tech. So this one's ranged heavy. You can again apply the tech upgrade. You can apply the obsolescent. I'm actually going to steal that from Omega and drop that in here. You can apply the ionizing, the suppressing. Because it's a ground attack, you can apply the erupting to make sure that it hits flyers. For the high-tech energy laser, this is also his Hulkbuster set, explosion and ranged energy and tech. So there's a lot that you can do here. This is the one ability that I would actually recommend you favor towards the penetrator rockets. The reason being is this is going to be what this team ramps up to. So, you can do just about anything over here. Ionizing would be pretty solid. You could do bursting for your shield breaker, but I think there's a lot of other ways to get shield breaker on this team. Obsolescent auto, this one over here is not bad. We've already used this. Suppressing, it's not too bad. Suppressing may be pretty good for that. Explosion ranged. This is not a bad one for shield breaker, but you could go with ionizing. There's a lot you can do. It's kind of up in the air. Can't really slot anything right now because he's not 14. And then, of course, for the Unibeam, it is ranged, energy, and tech, and it's melee and tech. So tech would be a pretty good one to go with this because you could conceivably using it in either suit. So maybe the tech downgrade, this is where you want to slot it. So let's jump in and actually see this team in action, and you'll be very surprised what it does. I've taken out a piece of the chess set and I've inserted the weaker Legionnaire gun into it because I have yet to research the normal version of it. I'm just building up a few more Chromecasts. Hopefully we'll do that soon. So there's the chest set on my agent. He is using the ISO that says counterattack supply poison, and that's a pretty key thing for the infiltrator suit in this setup. You can use the entire chest set, by the way. It actually works out very, very well. So we drop in with my agent going first. I'm going to go ahead and apply the shield, which gives me a Rook ammo. But the max is 3. So I went up to 4 for a moment and it dropped to 3 because that's the max. And I'm going to open up with the Legion Pulse Rifle. I'm going to apply fumbling to the entire team because of the infiltrator suit. And I'm going to give everybody radiation exposure. So there's a recharge. Here's the Bishop, which now applies poison because it's a counterattack. And there goes Rocket Raccoon joining in. There's the follow-up brawl because of the fumbling. And again, Rocket Raccoon joins in. Pretty good so far, isn't it? So there he is following up because of the fumbling. So now here, I'm going to apply and the reason why I have the Legionnaire Rifle is it should be saying that I have Boon Buster because I'm actually counting as... Oh, great. Well, no, because of the lesser gun, I think I'm actually not counting completely as a Age of Ultron Avenger over here, but I should be with the full version. I'm going to go ahead and open up with this, the Digger Missiles. Now, what's really cool is the moment you have Rocket apply his level 6, those Digger Missiles will cause the Pyrophoric. That's very, very good. And just look at how much damage this team has taken so far. There's a Repulsor Ray, which Rocket Raccoon could join in on. And I'm actually going to go ahead and stay put, and there's a reason for this. I want you guys to see, hopefully, what this team looks like for the kill shot. And we just need to build up to it a little bit. So there's the stamina recharge, there's the Bishop. That's going to apply poison again. And of course, Rocket Raccoon jumps in. Brilliant. So Rocket's just whittling the team down for free. So my power level right now is at 60. We're going to do one more round of the Digger Missiles. And I'll show you guys where the grand putaway comes from. Rocket is just going to sit. There's a reason for this. Normally in PvP, you know, I'd be fighting. So now I have 90% power. I'm going to go ahead and switch to the Hulkbuster outfit, which sets me up as a Blaster Bruiser. And we are going to spam single target missiles into power armor. I could do the AoE, but I don't want to kill everybody because I want you to see what's going to happen with Rocket. 1 attack, 2 attacks, 3 attacks. Here comes Rocket. Because they were considered follow-ups, each one of them gets Rocket Raccoon nice and happy. And here he is, firing away with the radiation exposure, the pain, and you know what? If in PvP you did that with the AoE version, you've just seriously melted the enemy team over there. And there's the putaway. So here is Team RocketMan. It utilizes pieces of the chest set along with the Legionnaire Rifle. That would eventually grant me Boon Buster, sitting there with Iron Man. Of course, there's a lot of other things you could do with it. It's just the chest set actually works out on offense and D, because on D, you would want to take RocketMan out, run the full chest set, and put Union Jack in, because Union Jack, with his ISO, he doesn't need any help to be destructive. Over here, the item that is missing is called the Knight. This is what sets up the agent to tank. And this is really good for the set because you'll be then applying poison for free. The bishop will be firing. You'll have the shield. You're putting out radiation exposure. So if you were like, well, how do I do this without the chest set? Well, for that, you can then bring in maybe the weather control device. You can do the wave nullifier because of the counterattack, which will remove buffs. You could do something like the mercurial. You could do a lot of counter things. Of course, we have, where is our little gun over here? We have the Legionnaire Particle Accelerator. Here it is. Nanite Inductive Gun. Range gun and tech. This would work out because you would apply poison on this. You would get a shield. There's definitely a few things that you could use if you do not have the chest set. But I would strongly recommend that you try to work with energy, things that do radiation, things that do fire, so that the pyrophoric goes around. You can run the T-Bow glove because of it being energy and tech. And, you know, there's an absolute lot that you could do. The Vajra, which used to be pretty popular in PvP back in the day, that would work. So yeah, you could set up the Sparta Boot, the Cosmic Cardinal, the Nanite Inductive Nail Gun, and maybe something else like the Neurotrope. That would be a really good setup. So, I hope I gave you guys a good idea for a team up that should work on both offense and defense with slight modifications. And it gives you some life to Iron Man in his Hulkbuster suit. We get Rocket Raccoon back in there, and you saw the damage that this team did. Hope you enjoyed the video. Take care, everybody. Enjoy this wonderful weekend here in the middle of May.